Steam has a problem, aka AI slop. For starters, I don't think AI is going anywhere. I think that's wrong. And no, it's not another summer sale, it's AI. A recent study analyzed more than 53,000 games released on Steam, and one statistic completely caught me off guard. Depending on the month, between 60 and 90% of Steam's recent growth came from games using AI somewhere during their development. Now, if you just heard that number, you're probably thinking AI is taking over gaming. Honestly, so did I, but then I kept reading, because another number completely changed the story. Despite the explosion of AI-assisted games, most of them aren't even making any money. So what's actually happening here? Are gamers rejecting AI? Is Steam getting buried under low-effort shovelware? Or are we just watching game development evolve in real time? Today, we're going to break down what this study actually found, look at how Valve has been handling AI, and see what the gaming community is saying, and talk about what this could mean for the future of Steam. First, let's talk about why the study even exists. Last year, Valve introduced new AI disclosure requirements. Developers now have to tell Steam whether AI was used during development. This could mean artwork, dialogue, programming assistance, music, basically any AI-generated content that makes its way into the game. Valve isn't banning AI. They're simply asking developers to be transparent. And because of that transparency, researchers can actually measure how quickly AI is spreading across game development. According to this study, the growth has become enormous. Now, here's something that I think is important. This doesn't mean 60 to 90% of all games on Steam are AI generated. That's not what the study says. It means 60 to 90% of Steam's recent growth is coming from games that disclosed using AI somewhere at some point during development. That's a huge difference. Some developers might only use AI to brainstorm dialogue, others might generate placeholder art, some could be using AI to speed up programming. Not every AI-assisted game is just pressing a button and shipping a product, and I think that's an important distinction. What's interesting is that this is happening while Valve is already in the middle of some pretty major changes and scrutiny as of late. The company has continued investing in SteamOS and its hardware ecosystem, while broader conversations around PC gaming have centered on rising hardware costs and premium-priced devices. AKA Steam Machine, anybody? That means Valve isn't just managing a storefront anymore. It's managing an entire platform that spans software, hardware, and an ever-growing developer ecosystem. Now, they're adding AI into that mix. If publishing games becomes easier, Steam suddenly has to manage more games than ever before. And that's where I think the story starts becoming less about AI and more about discoverability. So I spent some time reading through Reddit, Steam discussions, and YouTube comments, and honestly, players seem pretty split. Some people think AI is just another tool, no different than Photoshop or Unreal Engine or Blender. Others think AI-generated assets instantly makes a game feel lazy, aka AI slop. Personally, I don't think the answer is that simple. Everyone's so quick to say, oh, even if it's placeholder AI-generated assets, whether it could be mock-ups or maybe some trees and forests, really redundant assets that you would have in a forest or something, but they still have to put that label on there. And people will just write it off. Oh, it's AI. I'm gonna jump on the bandwagon. I hate AI. Water. And they're just so quick to just throw it under the bus. I don't think it's that simple. And I think if it's used responsibly as a tool to not take away the creative process, but also pump out some really good games and still have that good original content, I think it's just another tool in the toolbox. Here's what I think a lot of people are missing. This isn't really an AI story. It's a discoverability story. 20 years ago, making a video game required an entire studio. Then, indie developers changed everything. Now, AI is lowering that barrier even further. That's incredible. And it's kind of a shot in the dark. More people than ever can bring their ideas to life. But there's a downside. If thousands more games are being published every month, how does anyone find the hidden gem? Steam already struggles with discoverability. AI isn't creating that problem. It's accelerating it. For starters, I don't think AI is going anywhere, and that is a pretty logical conclusion. So I think instead of just hating everything that has AI in it, maybe it has to be regulated in a certain way, like starting to do where, oh, you need to disclose if you used AI-generated assets, again, in this forest or some creeks, really redundant pieces of terrain that are ultimately insignificant for making a really nice game. But if it has that little label on there, then people are just going to freak out and they're going to jump on the hate bandwagon. And now this entire studio and all the people working for it and all those aspiring entrepreneurs or whatever, now they're out of a job, all that time and effort is gone, all those promises they made to their family burned away because they tried to use an efficient tool. And I think that's wrong. I don't think that's the right way of looking at it. There's that other flip side where there are a bunch of people that are just mass generating games out of AI, especially mobile games, and they're hoping that they're just gonna win some bonus or something or get a bunch of money from paid ads. And it's kind of scummy. Also, if it's a great game, it's gonna be a great game. They will find a way to rise to the top. I think creativity is still the competitive advantage. I don't think AI is strong enough to just one shot with a button and boom, there's a game. And it's the bestseller. Right now, anyone that plays games knows that you can see it a mile away and it's horrible. It can speed up the development, but it can't replace a compelling idea. And if your idea is good, the game is going to be good, period. No takeaway from it whatsoever. But anyways, that's my thoughts on it. Now I want to hear from you guys. If your favorite game came out tomorrow and then the developers openly admit that they used AI during its development, would that actually change whether you bought it or not? Or do you only care about the final product?